Yes. So I hope I am audible. Just let me check on my live. Very important video this is. Very important video this is. Yes. So well, so much awaited. Many are waiting for advanced auditing. Live. I mean, especially paper analysis. Like from 4:30 itself, I was getting messages all that the paper was extremely tough. Now actually, before I call paper whether it is tough or not, I made a very clear-cut detailed analysis. Generally, I don't prefer to do videos during the exams, but this time I felt it is high time to make the student realize what mistake he's exactly doing. From past 1 year in YouTube, I was continuously educating students not to go behind fancy materials, all that. And now the institute with this audit paper destroyed all that fast track materials, all that colored materials or short notes. Every material in the market was destroyed, literally. Maybe I may sound a little harsh, but that's the truth. I will show you how the paper was set up. And I was very impressed with this kind of paper. But at the same time, I'm also worried a lot, like how many students could not even recollect when they're reading the question, where this question is coming from, which chapter, when did I read this question. Like there are many questions like this. Now first of all, total entire descriptive question paper is for 88 marks. Total entire descriptive question paper is for 88 marks. Just a minute. So total entire question descriptive paper is for 88 marks, and I will show you my material. Last year when I came up with this material, many said this is bulky, but actually even every other material is also same bulky. But the thing is, they cut short so many points. But now, even from those remote points only, the paper was mainly tested. 83 marks outrightly came from the material which I use for my students. I will show you with all the facts and proofs. See, one purpose I'm doing this video, you can see the title of this video. At least open your eyes now. The papers are going to be even more tough further. Getting it as upcoming attempts, not just audit, even other papers also. At least in 8 subjects, in a particular group or out of 4, you can expect at least 1 or 2 tough papers like this. Fine. And I classified very high level difficulty questions. Approximately 19 marks questions were asked, which are actually extremely high difficult questions, and high difficult questions were approximately 10, which means only 29 marks of the paper, only 29 marks of the paper is only difficult questions. 19 here, just a minute. So 19 marks very difficult, 10, which means only 29 marks were difficult. But remaining 46 plus 13, 46 plus 13, either they come under medium category or even a low, means very easy, or medium category. Approximately they are 59 marks. 59 marks of the descriptive paper of today's advanced auditing paper is moderate or easy. In fact, majority questions comes under moderate. So I can say paper is actually moderate plus mixed. Above all, as a whole, if you want me to rate, the paper is tough. It's not very tough. It's only tough. Because very tough questions are hardly 19 marks only. Very tough questions are. Now let's analyze with all facts. Um, Now I'll show you very clearly how the questions have been coming from. Now if you look at question number 1A, it's a standard related question. It's a straight. You open my material 152 page. You open my material in 152 page. This is actually edition 22 material which I released in January. Before this edition 1 material is released, the only changes, differences, amendments. So if you are my student, especially advanced auditing, if you followed my classes, edition 1, if at all you've gone through, same only, just page numbers might slightly differ. Okay, getting the same material only. So if you go with 152 page, they are asking about D2 point. And by the way, what is the question first of all? What is the question first of all? If you check, just a minute. If you check the question, no, first question, no. Very simple. This last point, if you read, this is the question which they're asking. What are the aspects that need to be considered by CAR? He is engagement quality control reviewer while performing EQC review for audit of financials. By the way, here one more point is also tested. Mr. P, who is the main auditor, he felt responsibility will be reduced after the review. That's absolutely wrong. SEA 220 clearly says, it's an SEA 220 question actually speaking. SEA 220 clearly says the responsibility of the entire audit is with the engagement partner always. Engagement quality control review is mandatory for listed companies. So that question, you can find the answer straight away in my material. Like even when I'm taking class as well, I tell students very clearly, any way the question can come. Even when I'm explaining this point, only the second point may be asked as a question. I don't know if you're my student, if you have watched my regular class, I think you might sense this. The sub question itself is asked as an 4 marks question. So this question is what they asked for 5 marks. What are the aspects that engagement quality control reviewer shall consider? What aspects he will consider? The evaluation involves. This is what the question. So that is one 5 marks question. Straight question. In fact, I can say just because some content is given, it is not outside material book. Same, that question only asked. So, and that's how it is for 5 marks, which is asked. Next, just a minute. Next. Yeah. Now coming to, just a minute. So the second question, by the way, how the weightage has come. Before I again go into each and every question, there are some questions which I need to explain you. But before that, let's look at the chapter wise weightage. Chapter wise weightage is like this. These are the chapters. Audit report, say 10 marks they have asked for. I can say outrightly, just a minute. I can say outrightly 10 out of 10 marks. You can trace reference in my material straight away. It's not even indirect, a straight reference. Automated environment 4 marks question, it's a straight question. Bank audit, it's a 5 marks question, straight question. And corporate governance, they asked management, board of directors related provision, which I don't teach in audit because it is already covered extensively in law. But it is also there as part of our material. Consolidated financial statements related, one question they asked. Fiscal loss 5 marks they asked. Forensic audit 5 marks they asked. IMO 4 marks. Insurance audit 5. Again liabilities of auditor 4. Professional ethics 12 marks they asked. Quality review one question came 5 marks. Standards actually 19, and even audit report is also a standard question. But out of total 29 marks, 5 marks Caro question is there. In audit report Caro also I covered. So 24 marks paper only from standards. 24 marks only from standards. So rest all other from various topics. Even insurance audit is tested 5 marks question. Lapses and policy lapse and revival, regarding that they question. Fine, anyhow, let me show you like what I felt tough. Just what questions I felt tough. So first I will discuss about very tough questions. Very high difficulty questions. Fiscal loss question they asked. They are asking reporting requirement for various interest payments. They are asking reporting requirement for various interest payments, which is logically speaking very tough, because in fiscal loss, when you are reading income tax audit report, the institute book itself is having 108 pages approximately, and for a weightage of some 5 marks, it is very difficult for us to cover 110 pages. And moreover, in one of the class they are selecting and asking you to report, they are asking you reporting requirement directly. See, even if it is Caro reporting requirement, I can understand, okay, but in tax audit, reporting requirement, that too such an in-depth interest related payments reporting requirements is, according to me, it's the concept is easy, but the student generally will not expect that level. So here I classified into very high difficulty, medium and low. It is based upon expectation of the student. Generally what student will expect and what kind of question student generally expect and what institute exactly did. If it is completely contrast, then it is very difficult. So that based on that analysis, I am making it as very difficult. And next up, if you look at standards, so there is a question 5C. I'll open the question paper straight away. So there is a question 5C. If you check this, this is regarding making, guide him regarding estimation making process adopted by management. If my students, if you recollect our SA 540 discussion, like, by the way, where is this particular thing in our material? 5C question, it's a 4 marks question. It's there in chapter number 3, 168th page of our material. 168th page of our material. Just a minute. So 168th page, inside this, they asked this one. These points they asked actually. Actually, this entire question they asked for. This entire topic they asked for. But we need to write these 3 points and any of these 2 points. Any of these 2 points. This is what you need to write. But generally, what is the risk assessment process? I mean, what is the estimation process? How management makes accounting estimate? Generally, some students may think this answer can be written. Logically speaking, you can write this answer as well, but most accurate answer is this. Most accurate answer is this, because if you look at the question, the auditor has already felt there is a risk. So in the context of risk assessment, they are asking you, how would you verify management accounting estimate making process? So actually for point number 5C question, there are 2 answers. This is the primary most correct answer, and as an alternative answer, institute should also consider if a student write these points. Most accurate answer is that is there within this particular box. Almost we spent 1 hour 15 minutes to 1 hour 20 minutes purely discussing SA 540 standard in our regular class. Next, another very tough question. Consolidated financial statements. They are asking materiality consideration. We have a material, module 2. In that material, 96th page. You come to 96th page, materiality determination. Materiality determination. Just a minute. You see here, what are the factors? The auditor should consider the following. So this one, or this is the answer that student has to write. This is the answer that student has to write. And even the question is also asking this particular point, modified opinion and other auditors report. Getting it? The student has to write this point. Materiality consideration point he need to write, and 5th point. 3 and 5. This is what the questioning about the consolidation. If you check consolidation here, by the way, what is that question? Consolidation question. It is 6A. Okay. If you look at here, 6A, how you should deal if there are observations made by component auditor. How would you deal if there are observations? So for that you need to write modified opinion in other auditors report. So how would you deal? Nothing but SA 600 principles will apply. You just have to write the fact that SA 600 principle will apply. Then they are also asking with respect to determination of materiality, what should be considerations of the auditor? A straight question again. The auditor should consider the following, this question. That's why when I'm explaining the class, some of my students may feel I'm going very in depth. When I'm explaining class, in fact, some 2-3 students messaged me, sir, you're going very in depth, but in revision classes and all, we have seen there is no in depth, no need to stress on all this. But I always tell when I'm explaining a particular concept, if there are 10 points inside that, 7th point may be asked as a practical question. Likewise, I used to stress in every particular, recording of mine. So observe and then do read. Then one more very difficult question. You will be shocked with this. This question has been asked in icai pronouncement. It's not there in the entire icai study material. This is directly came from pronouncement. The moment I saw the question, I directly opened pronouncement SA, 230. Directly from pronouncement. I'll even show you where it is exactly. That question I will show you, and pronouncement also I'll show you. You see pronouncement here. So actually, what is that question? It's a question number 6B. It's a question number 6B. You see here, this question, you see 99.99%, even if it is me also, even if I am sitting in the examination hall, just like you, I will also not attempt this question. I honestly admit that. Who will read? See, I read pronouncement. That's why I figured out that is here. Immediately I figured out. But how can I reproduce this content? Is it that easy? No. See, if at all I explain entire this pronouncement book, I think I can reproduce. But I never explained. Entire pronouncements, not just me, nobody will explain. If at all we need to explain entire pronouncement related explanatory material, you see, in pronouncement, from where it is asked from. SA 230 explanatory material is there. In that A7 paragraph, that paragraph is what they asked for. 5 marks question. They asked that particular question, 5 points you need to write. What? It is necessary for the auditor to document separately compliance with the matters for which compliance is demonstrated by document. For example, this one you need to write. That is what the question is actually. So this question is not covered in my material, and that's why you see I gave marks 0. Marks covered from my material 0. So which means from very tough questions, 14 marks questions were covered even in my material. From very tough category, 14 marks were covered. Now coming to high difficulty questions. High difficulty questions. There are 2 questions which are high difficulty questions. One is question number 1B. What is question number 1B? Let me check. I hope you are able to understand how I analyzed the entire paper. You see here, they are asking relating to what are the specific considerations. I mean here. So the engagement team discussed SA 315-240 shall include specific considerations of the suspectability of the financial statements to MMS due to fraud or error that could result from related party relationships. In related party SA 550 standard, one side heading itself is given in my material clearly. Fraud risk factors, there is a side heading. I'll show you directly that material. Even when I'm explaining the standard, I told this itself can be asked as a question. If you are my student especially, I'm giving you with proofs that it is covered as part of our material. Even when we are explaining in the class, we stressed it. And that is the reason why I always tell not to watch at higher speed. If you watch at higher speed, what happens? You don't understand anything. You don't analyze anything. Every suggestion which I am giving, very, very practical. Just a minute. 378 page in my module 1. Sorry, 175. 175. One of the very difficult. Yeah, you see this part D only is what asked. Part D, this is what asked in that question. Risk SA 550 standard. In this standard part D, this is what asked in the one, this question 1B. That is difficult. That is difficult question, logically speaking. If you do not understand that question, if you do not pay attention, it is very difficult. Please, once again, I'm telling every one of you, whether you're watching any subject or audit, whatever, watch the classes at standard speed. I am very pity on certain faculties who are recommending students watch at 1.5 speed. What are you going to get when you're watching class at 1.5 speed? If you watch at 1.5 speed, you just listen to the words. What is important is analysis. You can't analyze. You can't analyze it when you're listening at higher speed. Even marathon, you should watch at standard speed. Now everyone should understand. When you read the question paper, think of your mind. What you are exactly thinking. I know this question, I know this concept, somewhere I read this. I'm only unable to remember. Then it's a preparation mistake. Where is this concept is located? I never seen this concept. Somewhere your coaching is wrong. Somewhere your main preparation is wrong. You need to think of the question that you are getting the moment you read the question paper. Next, quality review. Quality review. If they ask functions of quality review board, that's okay. But they are asking functions of quality review board, powers of quality review board, and one of the power call for information. So what they specifically asked is here. Here I said high difficult. Actually, it's not a difficult question, but I said high because they asked a very specific point. They asked a very specific point. By the way, what is the question? 5B. It's a 5B question. It's a 5B question you see here. Elucidate, getting it? The powers of quality review board. Okay, I mean, while discharging its function, nothing but powers of QRB. How QRB will proceed in case if it does not receive information called from the company. QRB asked company some information, company did not give. Then what QRB will do? Complaint to central government, complaint to Ministry of Corporate Affairs. That is the answer. Sir, in your book, which page number? I will directly show you that answer. 5 marks question. It is there in my book 378 page. It's there in 378 page. You see, where the board does not receive information called by it from the company, board may request central government for assistance. Nothing but they will inform to central government. I said it is a difficult question because not many students pay attention to this. You see, even I highlighted this important aspect. This itself they can ask. Even when I'm explaining quality review, I told students, call for information. Quality review board can call for information. Write about the same 4 marks question. Like that, a question may come. I even told this. Now tell me, you studied so many question banks, right? You studied question bank having 15 years papers, 15 years RTPs. What's the use? What is most important is reading the main content. What is most important is reading the whole syllabus. One time, even if you give reading one time, that's enough. 99% of 9% students don't pay 100% reading. They never give 100%. First of all, they don't even know 100% what is exactly the syllabus. Hardly the question paper came to me at somewhere around 4:45. I entirely prepared this entire analysis sheets, all that. You see how much work I did back end, and even almost it's been almost 20 minutes plus I started. Within 1 hour I figured out all the information, everything, where it is in my material with page number, analysis, everything. It can happen only if you have command on the syllabus. Fine. So this is regarding high level difficulty questions. So very high level difficulty questions I cleared. Now I will show you in this paper how many places students may do wrong. You might have thought some answer, but actually it is another answer. I'll show you right now. So there is these are the questions which are actually medium difficulty. These are the questions which are medium difficulty. 2A, 2B. Now 2A. If you check this 2A, they are asking a very clear question. I will show you a straight away side heading in my material. In fact, on this topic, I spent at least some 40 minutes to explain. Now, what is this? When forming an opinion on internal control, IFCO for nothing but internal financial controls over financial reporting, is it necessary to test transaction only at the balance sheet date? This is what the actual question is. Rest of the question, whether you read it or not, doesn't matter. Can you do only test only at balance sheet date? Now you see, this is medium, not easy question. This is medium because you need to be little observation when you're reading that IFC topic. But not many will read IFC topic. To best of my knowledge, they skip. All we read is Caro, how to remember all the 21 clauses. We only read peer review. We only read certain points in tax audit. We only read certain points in peer review. Outside, so much of negative and fake marketing is happening. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Choose only that coaching. So you know what is the best way to prepare? Own preparation is 100% best way to prepare. But since you are not ready for own preparation, choose the faculty who give you the best content in the market. Sir, I'm auditing 100 hours. I mean, he is going to complete audit within 100 hours, sir. I'll go and join there. Your wish. Myself taking 175 hours, approximately to 200 hours, including revision, leaving 10% syllabus. I'm able to cover only 90 or 95% syllabus. Imagine a faculty who is doing 100 hours. How much syllabus is skipping? How many? Today, after writing this exam, audit exam May 2022, many of you would have realized how many questions you felt were not covered in your own material which you prepared. Open your eyes. Be ready for working. Financial reporting, you are spending 300 hours on coaching, 300 hours on preparation, 600 hours. Whereas an audit, you spend 100 hours on coaching and you want to spend 100 hours on preparation. Within 200 hours, you want 100 marks paper. How? At least give 60% of the time that you give to FR for audit, and you can cover like this. I'm little harsh because you need to understand the intensity. Next time you should not do a mistake. This time maybe audit, next time in a law paper it may come, next time some SEMP paper may come like this. Every time you can't sit and look for some alternative. First understand, identify root cause of the problem. Next. So you see here, which question by the way? It is ICFR, right? ICFR, it is 110th page in my material. In my material, 110th page. You see here 110th page. Periodicity of IFC reporting. Periodicity on this MCQ also may come. In my regular class, I told very clearly, IFC periodicity of reporting is half yearly, quarterly. Wrong. It's annual reporting. Now, not only balance sheet date, even not just at balance sheet date, testing can be done near the balance sheet date. Or it may be tested during the year, not just at balance sheet date. This 2 points if you write 5 marks. Just 2 points. You see here. So they're asking very straight. 2 points if you write 5 marks question. Next. It's not high tough question or very tough. It's moderate question. Getting it? If you have never read that or observed it when you're reading, that means your preparation or manner of preparation of audit is something wrong. Next. Caro clause 2B. Getting it? Like if you check this, 101 page. 101 page. They asked the question on this small point. Even when I'm explaining in the amendments class, you just watch my amendments class in Caro, I told very clearly about this point. Quarterly statements, what frauds generally in business happen. So regarding that only they asked. Regarding that. So you need to write entire this working capital point with respect to Caro 2020. You need to write this entire point. And not only that, in the question, they asked, just a minute. They asked, as a statutory auditor, how should you deal and discuss? See, the management did not report variation in the financial statements. In the financials, you need to do an audit procedure, verify stock records, verify valuation reports, and see whether books of accounts contain any misstatement. If books of accounts are not containing any misstatement, there is no requirement of disclosure in the financial statements. But whatever information submitted to bank, if there is a difference, that needs to be highlighted in the audit report, Caro. In audit report, 11th section, report on legal and regulatory requirement, inside that, Caro, you need to qualify that point. So this answer you need to write. So that's regarding Caro. Second question. Next, 3B. It's a forensic audit straight question. It's a straight question again, forensic audit, 507. I'll show you directly. So the question is, it is digital forensic techniques. Give some examples of digital forensic techniques. This is what they asked exactly, a straight question. Even in the past examination also they asked this question many a times. So why I classified it as medium? It's not easy. Why I classified it as medium? Because the concept itself is a little difficult to remember. Unless you understand it practically, it's a bit difficult to remember. So it's medium. Then professional ethics. This question damn sure 99.99% of the students made wrong. I'll show you. 3C. 261 page. 261 page. See, my only hope for you, my only hope is next time when you're reading, next time when you're revising audit, please read only from full-fledged material. Don't read from any short materials, nothing, please. This time from company audit, there is no question at all. Anyhow, but of course, Caro is company audit actually. So you can say 5 marks question came from company audit. This point they tested. Clause number 9. Clause number 9. A chartered accountant shall follow GAAP. Schedule 2, part 1, clause number 9. Okay, schedule 2. Yes. Schedule 2, part 1, clause number 9. CAP shall follow GAAP. See, actually here, the moment anyone, whoever see this question, the moment anyone see this question, just a minute, 3C, right? Yeah, 3C you see here, they did not have peer review certificate. Now they are asking you to write the answer not peer review statement point of view, but they are asking you to write with reference to CA Act point of view. So And schedules there too. It's actually discussed under schedule number 9. Audit of listed companies. Only who are having peer review certificate, okay, only they can sign the audit of financial statements of listed companies. Here this company signed without having peer review certificates. It's a violation of clause number 9, guilty of misconduct. Generally accepted audit principles you violated if he fails to comply with gap procedures while performing work. So this is clause 9 misconduct as per even your ICI ethics book also. But 99% I think so. I don't know how many of you have exactly presented clause 9. How many of you have thought it's a peer review question. Many students I think might write it's a peer review certificate was wrong. Peer review certificate, any signature made by the auditor without peer review certificate, it is invalid. Peer review statement related matter, some of you might write. Actually, logically speaking, that should be an alternative answer. But they clearly said CA Act and schedules. That is a clue, a direct clue given. Next, it is a corporate governance topic. It's a board of directors topic, which I do not cover in my material. In corporate governance, directors related provisions, I don't even discuss in class. I directly tell students to directly go for, like law. I mean, whatever covered in law, that itself you need to follow. Then bank audit. There is a topic called in my material 559 page, question number 12. We refer to ICI material. For audit of items of liabilities, for audit of items of assets, we discuss directly from ICI material. So in that side question, contingent liability, what management representation auditor shall take? This question only they asked, straight question. This question, audit approach. The auditor is primarily concerned with reasonable assurance that all contingent liabilities are identified and properly valued. This is what the question is also. You see bank audit, what is the question? Question number 4B. Question number 4B. You see here, the auditor is primarily concerned with getting reasonable assurance that all contingents are, what are the points or checklist to be covered? These are the points. Getting it that are to be covered in representation, management representation. The auditor should obtain representation that any 5 points if you write, that's a 5 out of 5 marks. Straight question. 90, you can see here, once again I'm reiterating once again, okay, once again I'm telling you, only this 19 marks is very tough, out of which very tough pronouncement documentation question asked 5 marks. That nobody can do anything, even I can't do. That risk is there in every attempt, but the weightage will be hardly 4 or 5 from such a kind of extreme rare question. Okay, so you see here, except 5 marks, 83 marks out of 88 descriptive paper, I am showing traces in my material directly. Not even similar or some word, I am directly showing words. In this level you need to prepare. You know, you're already doing this for all subjects, but you're not doing it for audit. That's a problem. Next, next. See the reason why. See, everybody, I know everyone claims that their material is best, but that whether it is really best or not, you can only identify in a worst scenario, not in normal papers. And I generally don't do, but this time now I'm doing this particularly because at least some students who finished group 1, whoever watched this video, at least will understand in what level of depthness, like immediately what happens, I'll tell you. Some students immediately after writing exam, you know, they may not be interested to write further exam or whatever, some reason. They immediately go and buy randomly some faculty, or they immediately go and watch some marathon, or they immediately go and take some book and start reading from that. Again, you'll be doing the mistake. So to eliminate that, I'm coming with this video bit early. Next. Then IMO audit. It's about how to deal with opposition. So they used a word called angonism or something. Antagonism means nothing but opposition. Okay, what are the reasons for opposition in case of management audit? What are the reasons for opposition in case of management audit? You can see in 423 page of this material. What are the reasons for this this one? So these are the reasons. Reasons for opposition. This tight question, 5 points, 5 marks. If it is 4 marks question, you are just 4C means 4 marks question. You just have to write any 4 points. Then insurance audit, it's a straight question. What do you mean by policy lapse? What do you mean by policy revival? Meaning they asked. And what is the role of auditor in that? Role of auditor is some 2 points is there. That's it's a straight question. Okay, straight question. You can find in our material in 52 page of the module 2. Module 2. Not in module 1. Then again, professional ethics, there is a 4 marks question, 6C. 6C, if you check, no, he distributed cards and all that, visiting cards, all that. There is a straight practical question in my book. So question number 9, 306 page. 306 page if you take. Three not six page. So this is the exact question. Here he gave a speech and he called himself as management expert, whereas here he said technology expert and distributed all the business cards. Exact question, study material backside question. This we discuss even in class. Same question is exactly given. Then finally, liabilities of auditor. You know, after this analysis, I'll give you 2 minutes, 5 minutes, what you need to do. Okay, in order to not repeat the same mistake. Liabilities of auditor, there is a question number 4. It's a straight question again. It's a straight question, practical question only asked directly. So 354 page. So this question only was asked in a different manner. The information here, in the actual question paper, they used financial statements, wrong amounts. Here they said wrong declaration. Both are actually similar. So this question only exactly came with slight different wordings. Next. Then easy questions, which are not that difficult at all. They hardly occupy some 13 marks. So which means in the entire audit paper, 13 marks only were normal, very easy questions. Remaining all are difficult. So here again, it's a 1A. So what is there in the 1A? Engagement quality control review. This I think I told, no? Engagement quality control review, what aspects to be considered, I already told. Automated environment. So which is some 631 page. Wow, write about understanding of automated environment and documentation illustration. This exact question, question number 3, straight away asked. It's a straight question. This in fact is a CA inter question. In CA inter also we have the same question. CA inter also. Then professional ethics, sale of goodwill topic they asked. Sale of goodwill topic, which is there in the 224th page. So you see here, sale of goodwill, case 1. They asked on case 1. So this point you need to write entire answer. That's it. So this is the paper. See now, what is my total agenda of this video? Of course, like everybody else, we also want to promote. But at the same time, promotion alone is not correct without giving quality content. That's what I firmly believe in. Whether we do at CA Inter or CA Final, we give this kind of output, this kind of material. At the same time, the classes are also in the same way. Students might feel we are taking lengthy or bulky, but we always want every student to be prepared for worst scenarios and not for most easy scenarios. It's not, it's not our talent when you qualify in a very moderate scenario, but it's our talent when you qualify in a very difficult scenario. Even if the paper come worst, at least when you look at the paper, you should not scold me. That is a gift for me. If at all, when you're unable to write the exam in, after taking coaching with us, it may be CA Inter or CA Final. If you think, yeah, sir has covered everything in depth, the problem is my preparation. If you're able to convince like this, getting it, then successfully we did our duty. But if at all after looking at the question paper, you felt, I unnecessarily took coaching from Harsha sir, so then that is something which is dangerous for me. Getting it? So always choose the right faculty. Choose the right faculty. What is the best way of preparation for CA? Self-preparation. That's best method. If you directly read from study material, that's a number 1 best method. But the problem is, many of us will not be having that courage, or many of us will not be having that practical exposure. So we generally prefer to go for coaching. When you're going for coaching, Don't choose that faculty who is giving you fancy materials and short duration classes, 100 hours, 110 hours audit entire. No, don't choose that. You can perform well in exam only if the paper is very easy. If the paper is tough, especially today's paper, definitely you will flaunt. Not just audit, even every other subject when you're choosing, be careful. And even today's examination also gives one very important lesson. Listening classes in English is most important rather in Hindi. Today, especially those students who listen classes in Hindi, after reading today's question paper in English, might have understood. They would have really understood, their classes did not help them at all. So listening classes in English is very important. Only then the terminology you can grasp better. So I'm taking this occasion as an opportunity to make you understand how important and how careful you should be before you select a particular book or particular class of a particular faculty. And bottom line, if you want to go for self preparation, that's the best method. Maybe you may take little time, but any type of paper you can face. But if you want to go for coaching, if coaching is the mode of route, getting it, you happily go for some very standard faculty. That's it. Have a nice time. All the best. And law examination today, take some rest, 2 hours, something like that, and immediately go and write law exam as well happily. Irrespective of audit, some of you might think audit was very tough, anyhow I will flaunt in this group, let me leave. No, every paper is unique. Just go and write law exam. If you are planning for writing second group as well, go and write second group. Don't wait. Just maybe in law, if it is very easy, you may score exemption. Who knows? So be careful. Have a nice time. All the best.